So I thought with the league coming up, who are the 10 players in order that I think face the most pressure? And Joy and I will go through this. So here's my number 10. Ben Simmons. Okay, so the 76ers are seen as talented and underachieving. He is viewed as their second best player. Now, he just signed a contract, right? So, but there's a sense that he's as much a problem as Embiid. So I'd say Simmons needs to have a good playoff. And I've also wondered, is he focused? I'm not always sure he is. So I want to see him deliver. Next, Kemba Walker. Less pressure, but this is, in my opinion, a title team. He has never won a playoff series, and he signed a massive contract, 4 years, $140 million. It's not massive pressure, but we know he's talented, but you got to win in the postseason, especially in Boston. LeBron. The pressure for LeBron is simply the window's closing on titles. We know he's the second best or first best player ever. It's not that. It is, I think it's self-induced. It's LeBron saying, I'm in my 17th year. We don't have a lot of cap space. The cap may come down. It's not a big free agent class. This could be my best shot pressure. He's 8. This is Embiid, who is the best player on Philadelphia in the eyes of most. There is a sense that if you're the best player, that you set the tempo with the locker room, and the locker room in Philadelphia is Embiid and Simmons don't get along. He is not always focused, kind of goofy, kind of a kid, but uber talented. So I think the pressure is more on Embiid than Simmons, but it's clearly on Joel Embiid too. Giannis. He hasn't won a lot of playoff series, and this is almost organizational pressure. Well, last year was the first time he won a playoff series. He won 2. And last year, he got a little marginalized against Toronto and Kawhi. So no more 6'7" guys shutting down Giannis. He needs to come in, play well, and get through the Eastern Conference. He's considered the Eastern Conference best player. You got to win the East. Paul George. I like Paul a lot. He's a very good two-way player. But he hasn't won a playoff series in 6 years, and he tends to be a guy who comes up under our expectations in big spots. And now you're playing with Kawhi, who over-delivers in big spots. So we're not going to blame Kawhi if things go wrong. Russell Westbrook. First-round exits last 3 years. And let's be honest, he is unraveled in the postseason. So the visual resume is, he yells at fans, he yells at people. But he's only 4. Is James Harden, because James Harden's considered an all-time great player. And James Harden is the guy that Daryl Morey has said, I haven't given him enough players. So I think the pressure's on James Harden, and he's got a series of letdowns. I think a lot of times we excuse Westbrook that he's just so hyper-athletic that he just wears out. With Harden, we don't always think he puts the effort in on the defensive end. Anthony Davis. They gave away a lot of good young players for Anthony Davis, and they didn't give away those good young players to not end up in the NBA championship round. AD has won 1 playoff series, and there's no excuses. He hadn't played in 3 months. So this is the healthiest he's been. This is the best teammate he's ever had. They gave up the Lonzo Ball, the Brandon Ingrams for him, the Josh Harts for him, and we know LeBron can win a title. You can't blame LeBron. He's won it with Wade. He's won it with Bosh. He's won it with Love. He's won it with Kyrie. Number 1, I think it's Khris Middleton. This is my theory. He's an all-star in the East. Milwaukee is a smaller non-free agent market. If Khris does not deliver, we know Giannis is going to give you 30 and 10. If Khris doesn't deliver, Giannis wakes up in the morning and all the big dogs like Golden State are like, we'll give you Stephen, Clay, and Draymond. I think Khris needs to have a very good postseason. I'm not asking for 30, but I'm asking for 23 and a absolute Paul George level 2 to Kawhi James. So I think there's organizational pressure. Khris Middleton's got to give me 23 and a half a night. Every night. I know it sounds crazy, right? Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.